Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to take a look at the first aid kit that Ravi and I will be bringing along in the 2026 backpacking season. This is a kit that I custom made myself with things that I think will come in handy if we are ending up in an emergency, and this kit is useful for both myself and for Ravi. So as you can see, it contains two little compartments, and that's because simply this didn't fit in here. The bag that I put everything in is from Hilltop Bags. I will link it down in the info box below where you can find it. I think it comes in really handy. It's really nice material. It has a waterproof zipper on it, so it's really nice because I keep my first aid kit in front a mesh pocket of my backpack, so whenever it gets wet it isn't that big of a deal. This one is just a fabric pouch that I made myself. It doesn't matter if it gets wet because what's in here, it's fine if it does. I also keep in here my repair stuff, so I think that it's really handy to have everything together so I do not have to take all different kind of pouches with me. So you will also see some repair stuff in here. First I will start off with this little pouch. This is just one that I made myself, and it doesn't hold much, but it does hold Ravi's emergency booties. It's by the brand of Non-Stop Dogwear. It is a Norwegian brand, and those are just little fabric booties that he can wear in all different kind of circumstances. I can, for example, put this on Ravi's paws when I have to wrap it in a bandage or something. And when it is really rocky, it gives him some protection. When there is some snow or some ice on the ground, that gives him protection as well. So this is very useful in all different kinds of situations. So I think it's always nice to have something like that with you because, for example, when his paw gets injured, you're just wrapping it in a bandage and the ground is wet, well, you can rewrap it every 10 minutes because it's totally soaked, and that of course doesn't do any good to a wound. So therefore I always like to have some booties with me. Then let's go into the kit itself. As you can see, it is pretty full, but I think it will come in handy, everything that is in here. The total weight of my emergency kit is 304 grams. So some might say that is way too heavy. Yes, of course you can go lighter, but I think that a first aid kit is something you should not skip on weight because it can be your literally lifesaver out on the trail. So I prefer not to do that. Just in random order, I have a little self-adhesive bandage. This is mostly to wrap a gauze pad around Ravi's paws if needed, but in case of an emergency, it will be sticking to my skin as well. So I'm not taking an extra roll of bandage for me because this will be fine for the both of us. I have a little tick remover kit with all three kinds of sizes. I must say that I over the years started really to like those little things. I will blend in the photo because you probably can't see it, but it is not the kind of tweezer mechanism, but it is way easier to handle and it works much better if you ask me. I have this little jar of wound X. It comes from Germany, and I can use this on wounds, both Ravi and myself, in case there is some bleeding happening that I would like to stop. I have two little, you can say chopsticks, but they are for Ravi. One is paw protection, one is paw care, and one is skin repair. So in case he has any different kinds of little scratches or something, I can use that. Paw protection is in case it's very rocky or if there is snow on the ground. And paw balm is for at night at camp when I would like to take a little bit extra care of Ravi's paws. Then I have three little baggies of medication in here. Two for Ravi. This is anti-diarrhea that I carry for Ravi. And this is some medication in case he gets sore muscle problems, some infections or something that I can use this for. For myself, I have this bag with aspirin in there, so pain medication. I have tablets. And I have a powder that I can take without any water. So that is really nice. I found this in Germany. And I think that is really nice to have with you. Because when you're out on the trail, you're running low on water. And you need pain medication. Then you do not want to spend your last amount of water on that. So I think then it's really nice to have a formula. It's not liquid, but it is a sort of a granulating. It's a powder. So usable without water, really nice. And if I need pain medication at camp, I have the normal pills. They are packed all separately, so that's really nice too. And in this little pouch, I have some general medication. I have ibuprofen in here, Tylenol PM, Imodium for diarrhea, my allergy tablets, and Pepto-Bismol in case I am suffering from heartburn out on the trail. Then I have some stuff here on the side for repair. I have a little tube of super glue. You can fix all kinds of things with super glue, and in case of a real emergency, you can even use it on wounds to close it down. Be aware, don't do that if you are thinking that you need a medical attention in a hospital or from a doctor, then not do this, but if you don't, that'll be fine. This is a little repair kit with some duct tape wrapped around it, some thread here on the top, so that's really nice in case I have to repair something. And there is a little hidden pouch in here. You probably won't see, but there is a needle in there. So I always have a needle with me in case I have to pop blisters or I have to repair something. This is the repair kit for my sleeping pad. And this is a little container from Gear Aid. It contains all kinds of different repair patches. It holds patches for my puffy jacket. It holds patches for my quilt. It has some Dyneema patches in there that I can cut to size to whatever I need. And the all known, I think everybody knows those, the tenacious tape to repair all different kinds of gear items, clothing, tents, whatever it's needed. And then I have the last kind of things in here. I carry some packages of Neosporin single use. I used to carry the tubes, but I use it so rarely that I had to throw away it at the end of the season. So that's really a shame. So these single packages, they really are handy if you ask me. Some bandages. These are finger plasters. Well, those things are lifesavers out on the trail. Normal plasters, they always get loose when they get wet or they just don't stick. And this one wraps around your finger several times. So this one always stays on. And if it ever gets loose, you can cut off the edge and you still have a lot of plaster remained around your finger. And it also works great for blisters because they are so large. You can also wrap them around your toes. And that will last so much better than the normal plasters. Me personal, I do not really like the official blister plasters. So this is absolutely a great solution. I always have finger plasters with me. I also have some normal plasters because, of course, finger plasters do not stick to every body part because they are so long. That's not always handy. I have some alcohol pads for once to sterilize a little wound or something if that is needed. I have a package of burn gel in case I burn myself to my stove or I'm suffering from severe sunburn. Usually that will not happen because I take my precautions for that. You will find out more in my gear video later this season. But this is in case I burn myself to whatever you can imagine. These are water purification tabs, and that is something that I very rarely take with me. But this year there are going to be some backpacking trips where I have to rely on nature to get my water. So in case that I do not trust it, that I think it is too much dirt in the water, or I do not trust my filter for whatever kind of reason, I have those purification tabs with me. I have a pack of sting relief. So yeah, that's clear what that's for. I have a compression gauze, so that I can put underneath this little roll of bandage if needed, both for Ravi and myself. I carry just one because I think the chances of us both getting injured in the same time are very small. I have a little tick removal card, and then you can say, well, you were also carrying a kit removal kit. Yes, that's true. That's what I use to remove the ticks. This is what I use because it has a magnifier glass in there to find little ticks on Ravi or myself. And the last thing in here is a pack of hand warmers. You never know when you're going to need this. Nights can be colder than expected. You can end up in an emergency when you are getting really cold, and then it's always nice to have one of those with you. That's everything that Ravi and I will be carrying in my backpack for the 2026 backpacking season. Not the smallest kit on the planet, not the largest kit on the planet, but I think that it contains everything that can help us out in case one of us or both of us are ending up in a emergency situation. We need a little medical attention, but always be aware that a first aid kit is there to give you first aid, like it says, out on the trail, so that you will be able to treat yourself or your dog to be able to get off trail to seek for medical help, for advice from a doctor, a vet, whatever situation is happening at the moment. So I think this is really helpful. If you would like to know anything more about this subject, feel free to ask your questions in the comment box below and I will be happy to help you out. And if you are taking your dog out on a backpacking trip, try to make sure that you are able to follow a first aid kit for dogs as well, because a lot of injuries or situations that can happen out on the trail can be treated in the same way as we do by ourselves. But there are always some exceptions, because obviously you are talking about care for an animal. So if you are able to take a first aid course for a dog, go attempt that one. I always do that every few years to keep updated on my knowledge, so that I know that everything is going fine. If you have any questions in advance, or if your dog is dealing with a medical condition, always talk to your vet to see what kind of precautions you can take if you are deciding to bring your dog along out on a backpacking trip. So if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel and notify the alarm bell. And then as always, enjoy the outdoors. We'll catch you on the next trail. Goodbye.